Hello everybody, my name is Zeno coming from Essence of Zen. Today I'm going to bring a anime-like video. This is a new thing we're trying to bring to the channel. We've been trying to bring it for a while now, but I've never actually had the time to sit down and think about particular things I want to talk about with anime. But for today's video, for this particular video for this day, I want to talk about my top 5 likes for the Bleach universe. Now I'm going to be talking more about the manga because I think the anime was canceled. I stopped watching the anime after the Aizen arc because that's where I believe Bleach stopped being good in both anime and manga. But if you haven't read the, if you don't read the manga, then spoiler alert, a lot of my likes are from what's been happening recently. So with that, you know, if you don't read the manga, then I don't want to spoil anything for you. Go read it now. You can check out many online sites. You can also order the Shonen Jump and etc. Whatever floats your boat. So let's jump on in. So for number 5, well, I believe 5 being the lower of the top one. No, number 1 being my greatest like for it so far, or etc. Number 5 is we got to see Sajin's human-like form. And if you don't know who Sajin is, or because I'll be honest with you, some of these Bleach characters are hard to remember their names because they're not as, I don't want to say developed, but they're not memorable. But Sajin is, or Sajin, I do not know how to pronounce the actual name, so forgive me if you know that annoys you. He's the werewolf big person captain. I forget of which division. I believe it has to be somewhere around like 8 or 7, I think. I can't remember. He wears the you know, they call it the bucket on his head, the bamboo type of shielding. Yeah, so it turned out, you know, we got to see his human form, or human-like form, because back in the old days when he was living, supposedly, I don't know whether it happened in the Soul universe or in the real world universe, you know, between those worlds of the Hollow, the living, and the Shinigamis. But he was a part of a clan that was cursed by these witches and turned them into werewolves. And, you know, you get to see him remove his heart. It's how he does this ancient technique, which allows him to become more human and his power increases. But that was also one of my favorite things because I never would have imagined, you know, being able to see him as a quote-unquote human. Number 4 was we got to see Yachiru, I don't know how to say her name, again forgive me, that is the lieutenant for Kenpachi's division, the small girl with pink hair. We got to see what her Shikai's, you know, her Zanpakuto's physical, this is not like the that arc in the anime where all the Zanpakutos came to life in like a human-esque form. Well, we got to see the physical manifestation of her Zanpakuto. And stop you there, because I know you think about physical manifestation, that's like the arc. No, because if you go back to the original anime, and even in the manga, when Renji's sword was damaged, I don't want to say broken because apparently you can't fix a broken Zanpakuto, but in the anime, in the manga, they fixed the broken Zanpakuto. You got to see Renji's Shikai's physical form, where it was an actual bamboo with a snake tail with a manly voice. But in the anime arc, that filler crap, you know, his Zanpakuto physical form was a female bamboo who had a chain that was a collar for a male kid boy snake. And that was, I mean, I actually like that design more so than the bamboo, but inconsistencies, it pisses me off. We got to see her Yachiru's physical manifestation, and it was awesome. It's basically 2 beings living into one sword / hilt type ordeal. I'm not gonna go into what the sword does, you know, in terms of its special ability, but I think the way that they have it set up, it is perfect for her. Like it fits her personality and her deadliness. Just it blindsided me. Kind of like Nail from Yuko Mondo, where, you know, she had Pesh and I forgot the big guy name. You know how those 2 complemented Nail is just like how Yachiru's Zanpakuto physical forms complement her. And it is actually a really cool thing. and that's why it's my number 4. Number 3 will be basically the Quincys Power. So again, if you haven't read the manga, jump into the manga. It's been foreshadowed from the beginning of the series, though, that the Quincys are going to be a big deal, and they're going to be a big problem. They're going to be a big icon for the series, and then, you know, lo and behold, in the final arcs of Bleach, they are the final enemy slash war slash. You can't really call them an enemy, but in this instance, you can, because they're going to war. But both sides are actually technically good and bad if you want to look at it objectively, but I'm not going to go into it. If you want to make a video explaining the goods and bads of the Soul Society and the Quincys, I can do that for you later. But the Quincys Power, you know, they weren't extinct. They were just in hiding, and you know, lo and behold, they have like this massive power wave, and they go through, and they're just powerful, and they attack Soul Society, you know, without them knowing, and I'm trying not to curse in the video, but you know, I want to very badly. So depending on how the demographics for this particular type of show goes, I may end up using colorful language later on in future episodes. But man, I gotta give it to them. I like the Quincy setup. It's unique. Some things are just really stupid, but they're trying to be a little different. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. For my number 2, my top 2, or you know, number 2 in my top 5 things that I love about Bleach, my likes about Bleach, is yeah, we found out that I think her name is Unohano. She's the captain of the division that focuses on healing all the other Shinigami and other, you know, people. She has the sword that when it's in a Shikai form is like a giant green stingray type. It's not like a stingray. It's more of a not a manatee. It's a manta ray. Whatever, and it puts people in their mouth, and the saliva actually heals them and all that good stuff. Turns out that she was the original, or was the previous Kenpachi, because Kenpachi is the title that's given to like the deadliest, strongest person in Soul Society. So yeah, and ever since I first saw her, you know, you get like this nice, calm, you know, character aspect to it, but then you can also see that there's this dark, deep underlying tone to her, and I don't even know if they actually plan to have this be her character story, because in my opinion, you know, the revelations of her past was kind of you know, something that the writers pulled out of their behinds and just threw it at the readers. It's just like, oh, you know, oh yeah, she was the previous Kenpachi. And it turns out she actually met the current Kenpachi, the one that we know and love with the bells on his hair, as a, you know, he was a kid and she was an adult, and you know, they called her because he was killing off a lot of people in the district of Soul Society, and they fought. And it turns out that the scar on Kenpachi Zaraki's left eye, I think it is, was actually given to him by Unohana. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. Give it some slack. And she has a scar like in her chest, or on her chest rather, or a stab, I do believe, that Kenpachi gave her, and it was like one of these twisted type of I don't know whether it was supposed to be like a romantic love interest. To me, I got the feel of more of a mother and son type of connection. And this also this comes with the minor hate as well, because apparently this was the only person that Zaraki, you know, actually enjoyed fighting. So his mind, his subconscious put like this strain, this mental lock on him, where he was always stronger than what he believed to be, but you know, his mind wouldn't let up on that lock until he was close to death. So Unohana had to actually train him in the ways of the death sword, or the art of death, the art of the sword, one of those things. And what she basically did was she kept killing him and healing him over and over and over until his mind finally released itself from these shackles. That I like, but not the explanations of why he couldn't beat Ichigo in the past, or his other fights with other Arrancar, another story. But yeah, so it turns out, you know, Kenpachi Zaraki ends up killing Unohana, and he officially takes the title as Kenpachi. And in today's chapter, I don't know what chapter it was actually. Give me one moment. It was chapter 573, because if you watch this at a later date. He says that she's dead. Kenpachi shows up to save the day, and the Unohana lieutenant actually asks Kenpachi, where is my captain? And he says, she's dead. I killed her. I hated her, so it's fine. And he said it without his his overbearing grin. I can only assume that this is basically Kenpachi's way of opening up into a world that he no longer has that drive, because again, all of those previous battles were him feeling the love and the lust for battle, but only to find out that there's only one person that could ever match him, and that one person is now dead. His entire world is basically boring now, so he no longer has this this smile. But I think that might change. Bleach writers haven't been the best in terms of keeping consistency for character, tracks and development and changes. But yeah, so I'm very glad that Unohana at least had this badass side. I already said it, this badass side to her. So that's why she's in my number 2 greatest likes or top likes for Bleach. Number 1. What is my number 1? I forgot. Oh yeah, okay. So this is a major spoiler. Rukia finally has a Bankai. Oh my goodness, I love it. Many fans have been wanting her to have her Bankai for 573 chapters now, and it's not that she just has her Bankai. There's a lot of power behind it, so she's very powerful, but she can't control it all just yet, and all of that typical tropes, I guess you could fall into, but excuse me. The design of her Bankai is gorgeous. Is magnificent. Bleach has been anime known to kind of over sexualize certain women in moments, but in this case, no. It is just gorgeous. She has like this this type of regal royal Taoism gown across her, and it's like it weaves into one side and tucks into the other, and I'm gonna have a picture on the side. I don't know whether it's gonna be here or there, or just covering up while I talk, but it is like, I don't want to say, because when I say beautiful and gorgeous, I don't mean like, oh my god, that girl is gorgeous, that girl is beautiful, or whatever floats your boat. But when I say it is just you would imagine, if you go to feudal Japan and you have princesses and priestess, and all these type of oh my goodness, it is subtle, but it's not too subtle, and it's extravagant, but it's not too extravagant, and she kicks ass. I mean, it is awesome. And personally, I'm just glad that Rukia finally got this upgrade, because she was her youthfulness was like up and down. Sometimes she was just she got in the way a lot. She always had to be saved, and it kind of irks me because when she does her Bankai, before she does her Bankai, Byakuya shows up to kind of save her, and I hated that, but they kind of redeem themselves, in my opinion, with the fact that he says, I'm not here to fight you because she can handle you. I just came here to give some inspirational words to my sister-in-law. So, okay, Rukia, you got this. Bye bye. And then she just goes Bankai, and then she killed it. So yeah, those are my top likes for Bleach, my top 5. I'm going to be having another episode of this released today, as in my top 5 hates or dislikes for Bleach as well. I'll try to have it linked in a video, but you know, they're gonna upload it different times, so I gotta edit them on YouTube at different moments. So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below, you know, your top likes for Bleach, and in the next video with the hates, let me know your hates on that video in the comment section below. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. If you have any tips, if you have any suggestions, advice, if you have a manga or anime that you would like me to do top 5s on, I can go ahead and go watch it or read it real quick and give you my opinions on it. And that is also important for me to say, these are all my personal likes, my personal opinions. You know, if they differ from yours, that's fine. If you agree with them, that's also lovely. So, yeah, I hope you like this new segment for the channel. This has been Zenokami. I want you all to make sure you have a wonderful day. Continue reading manga. Typically speaking, mangas are better than anime. I'm just saying. I love the animations and I love the fight scenes, but in terms of story writing and reading and things that are usually more uncut, manga is just the way to go. So until then, guys, until the next one, make sure you take care. Peace.